Hello Darklings, Carmia Stone here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys part 1 of possibly 4 to 5 videos of my fan concept for a Cult of the Lamb prequel. Now, when I beat Cult of the Lamb, my mind instantly went to the direction of, I wonder what a game showing how Narinder fell would go. Then realizing that I make up stories all the damn time, so I decided to share one of those stories with you guys. So this first episode is going to show concept designs and have info for what the game would entail. This game would primarily focus on Shimura, since we saw in Cult of the Lamb that they seem to be the closest of the siblings, but at certain points it would show the other siblings' interactions with Narinder, while he slowly falls deeper and deeper into his ideology that he should be the one true god and not just be a bishop. Which kinda ties into the name of the game, Cult of the Lamb, Fallen Faith. The gameplay would be similar to how it is in the main game, where you would go through 5 different dungeons and fight enemies and grow the power for the old faith. Now I'm sure you're wondering what you would be fighting, since it wouldn't be the bishop's followers. That's because you would be fighting the ones called free thinkers, which I will talk more about in another video. Now, for the designs, I still wanted to incorporate some of their god form traits into it, and since this is set before Cult of the Lamb, they still have the parts of them that they sacrifice to steal Narinder away, which basically, like Shimura's mind, Kalamar's ears, that kind of thing. Their abilities will also be shown and explained in another video as well. I thought this should be long enough in their time where they have a grasp on a part of their powers, but of course you'll be able to grow their abilities throughout the game as well. Shimura's design was definitely the favorite of all of them to be able to make, and kind of the easiest one in my opinion. And Kalamar's was the least favorite, since I really couldn't get his head to work right. For some reason, made it too small, too big, too, fat. But in the end I figured it out, which is also how I would rate their boss fights as well. So I found it kind of a little funny that Shimura was easiest, Kalamara was the worst, and I also would rate them as Shimura always going to be the favorite of all of them, and then Kalamara is just, I wanted the outfits to be a little torn since they are technically new gods, or new bishops, so I thought the clothes looking a little bit tattered and worn would be a nice little look to it for, well, them. Leshy was also a fun one to do since he's just a little bush boy and everything, so I had little tree antlers going out and everything. Although I had to figure out how the heck I was going to be able to do his mouth and stuff, so I just went for just a simple line and everything, nothing big. And for Heket's design and everything, of course, I did try to really make sure to nail the head and everything to make sure that everything looked right. Although I did have some difficulty with the little cloth piece on their forehead because of the fact that for some reason I just couldn't get the sizing right. So I had to adjust the eyes a little bit to be able to really fit that into there. Now, in the next episode, I will be going into their abilities, and then the one after that will be going more into the weapons that they would use. But for this video, I did say I was going to get into the information part of this game. So, let's get into that. After the previous bishops passed down the crowns to their most loyal of disciples, the 5 young bishops start to train to control their new powers, along with going out and starting their own cults for each of the ideologies the crowns are connected to. Which for them, that kind of was trying to figure out how it would work, or how it would be, so this is my idea for it. If I'm wrong, I will fix it up later. For it, I've suggested that Shimura is for wisdom, Heket is for strength, Leshy is for loyalty, Kalamar for authority, and Narinder for power. After some time, Narinder starts to crave more and more power, since he feels that he is the strongest of all the bishops, and thinks he should be the one to rule over all of them. Shimura, being the closest to him, tries to sway him from this idea, but Narinder does not listen to them. While they are watching their sibling fall farther and farther away from the old faith, they seek answers on how to stop them if the need were to arise. they seek the guidance of Klonek, and come to find that Narinder will not stop until all the bishops are wiped out to become the one true god of their world. They ask if there is some way to stop him, in which Klonek tells of a ritual that will seal Narinder away, but it will require a great sacrifice for the bishops to complete. Weary of this idea, Shamor puts the thought to the side and tries any other way to be able to keep Narinder from falling and to keep Narinder from having to be sealed away. But it's starting to look like that's not going to be the case. And then that's where we start to really get into the game. Before that, you will actually have some gameplay content and everything, like some little training scenes, like with Narinder and Shimura fighting with each other. Like I said, I feel like they were the closest out of all of them, so I think it'd be kind of cool to see like them train together with their weapons and stuff like that and their abilities. But before they go and ask for Klonek for answers, they do start to see the signs that Narinder isn't quite acting right. And after the whole thing with Klonek, that's where it truly starts to begin for the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little concept of mine. I really had fun coming up with the ideas for this. So I hope you guys will come back for the other parts. In all honesty, I really didn't think I was going to make this into a video, but when I started drawing the bishops and everything, and their little concept designs, I was like, you know what? Why the heck not? Why don't I just go real deep into this, and why don't I just make even more into this? Why don't I really go into the concept of fallen faith? So, that's exactly what I did. But yeah, hopefully you guys will come back for the next parts. And if you guys like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you yourself have an idea for different video game franchises and stuff like that, like for like prequels or sequels or stuff like that and everything, let me know in the comments below or in the Darkling Den's Discord server. The link to it is in the description below. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little Darklings, and I will see you next time.